Hi guys, PJ here. Today we are working on a 2008 Saab 9.3. We've fitted a single DIN aftermarket radio into the vehicle, so I'm just going to quickly show you what parts you need to fit that and how to remove the original stereo. Unfortunately, these cars are not the easiest car to remove the radio from, and to get it out, you've got to watch the heater vent. It's very, very fragile. It's very easy to break something on this car. Highly recommend you take this to somebody that's done it before. But if you wish to proceed with a DIY job, the parts you're going to need, this item here is a fascia adapter to make the hole in the dashboard the right size for a single DIN radio. It's made by connect2.com there, and the part number is CT24SA05. Okay, and you're also going to need a wiring harness adapter such as this one, PC296-4. Now bear in mind with these radios, if you've got a Saab that's been ordered from new with a very high-end radio upgrade in it, they can have fibre optic outputs on the rear of them. If that's the case, you will not be upgrading that radio without completely rewiring the car, so from the radio to the speakers. It's not a it's not a 2-minute job. It's very time consuming to do, so just bear that in mind. If you pull your radio out, it's got fibre optics on it. Think very hard before you proceed any further. Okay, on with removing the radio. Okay, so first things first guys, you're going to need a plastic leverage tool such as this Bojo tool. You can get these off Amazon or eBay or whatever. They're normally £1, £2 tops. You're going to need a couple of them probably. Do not use metal screwdrivers on a plastic dashboard. I know it's common sense, but unfortunately if you shove a screwdriver in a plastic dashboard, you're going to damage it. Don't do it. So use this or use some other form of plastic scraper. Okay, if you can't get hold of anything like this, some of the larger filler scrapers can do the job. Yeah, as you can see, this one's not stood up too well to the job, but there you go. Must stress again how fragile these units are. Now I've already unclipped this slightly because I needed 2 hands to do it. Even though I've done many of these cars over the years, it still worries me that you can break the vent taking it out. So bear that in mind, okay? Right, what you're going to do is pop your plastic scraper pretty much in line with this knob here. Push it in until you hear it pop. There's like a spring system that goes up and down, yeah? There's a few of them around the edge, which I'll show you when I take it out. So pop it there, leave that in, and if possible, get another one and work it way around the edge, so you pop the next one, yeah? Then go at the bottom and pop, yeah? The end here will then be still tight. What you've got to do is get your scraper down the edge and gently just sort of tweak it and it will pop out. Now, what can happen is this plastic trim with the grills on sort of comes loose. If that happens, all the very intricate fine plastic pieces behind it basically all fall to pieces. They're all on little light slots and ratchets. If that happens, it takes ages to pop them back together. So just be aware, you've got to take a lot of care with this particular piece. It's the hardest part. Literally getting this out intact is the hardest part. If you can do that and yours has not fell apart, brilliant. All you got to do, it's on little hooks underneath, yeah? So just twist. There you go. You see that? Pull. And take it out. Now they're the tabs that you've released. See that? One there, and one there. And also underneath the item, here, here and here. But as you can see, the front fascia is only held on by these little things here. Look how flexible it is. I'm hardly pushing that. If this fascia comes adrift, you're in for a whole lot of fun reassembling it. I've reassembled one of these vents before, and yes, it was tedious and annoying. So like I say, even the professionals can get it wrong and pop the front off the vent and it falls to bits. Don't want to rattle on about that too long, it's just be aware what you're doing, yeah? Right, now you're going to go down here. Let me get a torch on it. Can you see that? You got a screw there. It's a TX20, I believe. I'll check for you, or 25. Just there. Can't really illuminate it too well. One there, and one there. Take both of those out now. Okay, they are TX25s, the screws that come out, not TX20s, my mistake there, TX25s, okay. Take both of those out, and then your stereo, just sort of push it up. There you go, and it will drop forward. When you've moved it this far forward, I suggest you put some padding down in front of it, because the rear of the radio is metal, and obviously you've got your nice soft trim here that the metal would dig into. So get yourself some cardboard, could be anything, old cereal box or something, big chunk of foam like I'm using here. Put your gear lever back all the way. If possible, try and cover your gear lever over with a little bag. Normally you get little bags in the brand new radio that you bought, always useful for you know, that sort of thing. So we'll pop the bag over the gear lever there just to protect it. And once we've done that, we're going to pull the radio forwards. Now before we go any further, I'm just going to point out to you that, you know, by following this YouTube guide, I'm held no way responsible for any damage to your vehicle or injury to yourself. I'm sorry I have to put that in the video, but nowadays I'm afraid there is quite a few idiots that try it on. So if this bothers you, consult a professional. They're insured if they break anything. Simple as that. Pay to have it done rather than damage your car yourself. But if you're DIY minded and you want to carry on, not a problem. Let's pull this big bulking thing forward. Just watch you don't scratch the edges of your dashboard there, look, because it's not flat. On the back you can see your power connectors and aerial. That's your aerial, that's your power and speakers. They are on push tabs, you just push them down and pull them out. I will show you. And there we go. So like I say, they're on squeezy tabs. Let's put it side angle on there. I can get a picture of it. There, look. You just push it in, just squeeze it, look, down, and that will pull out. Same with this one, they're both identical, look, they're both on squeezy tabs. Your aerial, they're a bit awkward and faffy, but it's again pushed down on the little clip at the back, and it will release and pull forwards. Okay, now you've got your nice big gaping hole in your dashboard. You've actually done the hardest bit, sigh of relief time. Getting the vent back in is not normally a major issue on one of these. Now, if you've got the normal wires, like this one has, with normal plugs on it, you're fine. You can go ahead and fit your new stereo. If one of your plugs has two really thick wires, sort of the same thickness as your aerial near enough, then it's fibre optic, and you're sort of going to struggle a bit there. You're either going to have to wire it all the way through from the radio to the speakers, or find somewhere that's maybe devised a fibre optic interface for the vehicle. I am not aware of one, and I've been in this trade nearly 30 years, so there we go. Maybe there's something and I don't know about it. Don't deal with every single supplier of electronic interfaces, so who knows. Okay, so you've got that. You're now looking at fitting your fascia and your wiring harness adapter, which we will unpack now. Okay, to update the wiring status then, we've plugged in our harness adapter that we got, yeah, the Autoleads one there. You're going to need some form of aerial adapter. Now these are made by all different brands, okay. Basically you want to go from fibre, which is what this connector is, to a normal bog standard car aerial adapter, okay. Now a lot of companies make these adapters, Autoleads, Connects 2, etc. This one's got a filter in it to help radio reception, as you can see. You can get them without a filter built into them. It depends where you want to go. I mean, there's one without, look, nice and straightforward. I would recommend you go with the one with the filter. These old Saabs have an aerial booster at the base of the aerial, and with age it can deteriorate. This particular car had very bad radio reception on the factory fitted radio, so every help it can get for FM, all the merrier. Now you'll notice it's a powered filter, so obviously you're going to tap it into the blue wire that goes to your new car radio, because blue wire is for electric aerial or powered devices. The other off sprue that I've got here, the other off wire that I've put in, is because this vehicle is having a DAB radio fitted, so it needs power to the DAB antenna. You may or may not go that route, so this wire you could probably forget unless you go in that route. DAB antenna also has its own aerial connector, which is here separately. Okay, so that's those out of the way. Next up, you will notice that your wiring harness adapter has a fly-off red cable, like so, not connected to anything, and a little tag on it saying ignition. Well, you guessed it, this has got to be wired to the fuse box so the radio goes on and off when you turn the ignition key on and off. So you're going to need a length of red cable, yeah. Normally go for something in the realms of 15 amp is ideal for this sort of cable, running a 10 amp fuse on it. So you're going to run that obviously and connect it up to your red ignition cable. Bullet connectors or solder, heat shrink, etc. do not twist wires together. I have seen a car fire where the entire car was lost because somebody twisted wires together. do not do it. Minimum you should be doing is crimping it like so, and then heat shrinking or electrical tape wrapping it over the top, okay, which I will be doing shortly. Run your cable down. You can actually get your arm all the way down there quite easily, down the back. And this bottom panel here on the centre console, if you grab it from underneath and sort of give it a bit of a tug, it's on poppers at the bottom. It'll pop out, and then it's on little hooks. Right guys, next up, you've ran your power cable up along underneath the glove box here under the trim. Re-put your side plate back on again and pop the end panel off the dashboard. Very easy to do, there's a little grab handle, you can pull it. If not, put your little plastic scraper in the edge of it and pop it off, okay? So this reveals your fuse box, or one of the fuse boxes. Now you must use an auxiliary fuse, yeah? So nothing for ABS or airbags or anything critical, yeah? So an accessory fuse, such as cigarette lighter fuse, you know, interior lighting, that type of thing. And what you're looking for, because you're going to need a multimeter as such, or one of the little screwdrivers with a bulb in the end of it. And what you're going to do with the ignition off is go along and touch the very ends of the fuses, like so, and just make sure it reads 0 with the ignition off, okay? Put your ignition on and then test it again. And what you're looking for is it reading about 11.5 to 12.5 volts, okay, when your ignition's on. Or if you're using one of the little light up screwdrivers, you want the bulb to light up in the screwdriver. That shows you that that accessory fuse has come on with the ignition switch. Turn the ignition off again, take the key out and try it again. Make sure it goes back to 0 volts or the bulb in your screwdriver goes off. If that's the case, that fuse is what we will be using for our radio backup power, for memory and everything like that. Now to do that, to double up on this fuse, you'll need to buy something called a fuse spur, readily available from Amazon and eBay, normally again £1 to £2 in price. I'll show you one of those and quickly get out of this lovely torrential rain that's happening. There we go, this is a fuse spur, very simple device. All it does, basically pull the fuse out that you've just tested out your fuse box, put the fuse in here in this spare gap that's here to keep the original circuit running, and the 10 amp that I've got in this other slot here that will power your radio. You then plug this back in the fuse box where your original fuse came from and use the bullet connector that's on the end to crimp into the power cable that you've come from here all the way down to here. Look, there's your power cable, all the way down along the dash and come out here, so that connects to that. So in other words, come along, remove your fuse that you've tested, like I said, I'm using that. And there we go, there's your fuse spur into the original socket. Now depending on spec, year of car, all the accessories fitted, you are going to have to check to make sure your fuses, you know, they may not be the same layout as this car. So check your fuses, don't just pull the 5 amp high fuse and hope for the best. Please check your fuses. Tuck your cabling out of the way, put your end panel back on, and then we're moving back inside the car. Right guys, back inside the car. You've probably, just to give you an idea, you're looking at about an hour to do this job nice and tidily, so give yourself plenty of time, don't rush anything, it's how things get broken. Get your phaser adapter that you've got, like so. Pretty obvious which way around it goes because the screw holes go to the top. Put your cable in through it, and you just got to watch the bottom mounts there clicking properly, and then your top mounts line up obviously with the screw holes. Once you've got it into place, pop your 2 TX25 screws back in the top. The ones that came out of the original radio. Screws in place, trim is nice and tight. Looks quite nice, that does. Good finish on it, good quality item from Connects 2 there. Some of the cheaper Chinese ones you get off eBay, they're a terrible fit. The bow at the bottom, they look dreadful, so it's worth spending a little bit more. These are normally sort of £10, 15 maximum. Worth spending more if you get one of the little £4 or £5 ones. They are dreadful, they're too flexy, there's not enough substance to them. You don't want your car looking a mess when you put your new radio in. Okay, so we get a little pocket with it, like so, and you'll notice it's got a lip on one end and not the other. The lip points to the top, so to hold the cage for the new radio. It goes at the bottom, like so. Obviously that just pushes in, clicks in. Pocket clicked in. Cage that comes with your new radio. Normally they're sort of sitting across the new radio, like so, and you just slide them off, yeah? Pop that in. Make sure all your wires are not trapped or anything and they're nice and out of the way, and then get your little flat blade screwdriver and quite literally pop it in and twist, Do 4 of them or 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, couple top and bottom, just to keep it nice and secure, and then go and plug everything into the back of your radio. Everything plugged in, back of the radio, like so. Took everything down now, out of the way. We've left the vent out so we can still get a hand behind it to move the cables out of the way, and click your radio into place. So with radio in, we've not shoved it all the way home yet, just in case we need to pull it back out for any reason, in case anything's not working or whatever. So it's just sitting forwards. There's no cables there, which you'll notice there's the heater outlet here. Don't get any cables sticking up in front of it, because when you put your vent back in, you'll trap them. Make sure they all sit down the back out the way, yeah? Plenty of room back there on this car. Moment of truth that you've been waiting for. Pop your ignition on and see if the radio turns on. I've not pre-tested this one, so this is straight off the cuff. I hope this doesn't make me look an idiot. Let's see. Ignition on. Radio on. There you go, guys. That is your radio on, so you can now click it back into place, like so. Obviously, you'll have to set it up, tune your radio in, etc. And we want to put this tricky vent back in. Now, it's not at all difficult to put back in, because we've done the hard bit taking it out. Just literally grab hold of it. Watch your lower lugs first, yeah, so you'll notice I'm tilting that slightly. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Yes, I can. There we go. Make sure it's flush all the way around for a factory finish, which that one is. Sits nicely, everything works and not fallen to pieces. And that is how you fit an aftermarket radio in a Saab 9.3. If this video was any help at all to you in any way, please click like. If you've got any questions about this vehicle or any vehicle for that matter, it doesn't matter what it is, from a Ford Fiesta to a Porsche, I don't care. Drop me a line in the comments section below. I do try and reply the same working day. Sometimes that is a little bit tricky depending on my schedule, but not a problem. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.